Steelfest 2019. Sometimes things don't go as planned. I was just drinking beer and, having fun with my friends. And then I ended up meeting some, crazy people from different countries. One of these guys was this Canadian French guys, like Métal Noir Québécois. And they're like, oh, we played the show there, and you need to interview with us. Or actually, it was me asking them, but anyway. To make this story a little bit more stupid, I was like, hey guys, since we're, drinking beer and kind of being nice to each other, why don't we make it an interview and talk about black metal the Canadian way? And let me underline, the Canadian French way. So let's welcome Délétère. That's, sorry for my pronunciation. We have Patrice and...
Carl.
Carl, that's not really a Canadian name.
Yeah, it's Canadian.
You're fooling us.
No.
I'm thinking that's just
a little bit of Germany. It's used to be used in Germany, I think, too. But no, it's a pretty common name for Canadian.
You basically just stepped into my trap. So, guys, you played for the first time in Finland.
Yeah.
How has Finland been treating you, and why on earth you are in Europe?
First of all, people in Finland are really nice to us, and they like what we do. And we are in Europe because it's like it's the cradle of black metal. So, and in Finland there is a lot of black metal bands. So to be in Finland is like a great honor for us, because we are like band like Satanic War Master, Sargeis, or Ornard. These bands are an inspiration to us. So to be here and play in this country, it's like a good step in our musician existence at all.
Last year we had Forteresse, also another Quebec band here.
Yeah.
And by this time, people should have understand that there's a certain sound in Métal Noir Québécois. Sorry, once again for my pronunciation.
Oh, it's okay.
But you have this kind of a similar sound yet different with each. But so, what is the drinking water in Quebec? Because you have this thing going on. Like I was talking to you prior to this interview, is Quebec the Bergen of Canada?
I think maybe it's part because we are not so many people. We are like a small group of people who produce a lot of music, play in a lot of bands, and do a lot of albums. So I think maybe if it will be more crowded, maybe it will be a little bit more different from a band to another. But I think we share the same feelings, the same views on a lot of things, and that we can see that in our music.
Give me a little bit of insight, because this is something that we Europeans will not easy to understand. You're English-spoken country, and yet you have a kind of a big part of French-speaking people in Canada, and you have your own territory, you have your own cultures, and you have obviously cultural clashes as well.
Yeah.
But what does it mean when it comes to metal? I mean, we have a lot of Canadian bands, from Blasphemy to Voivod, not to mention all Quebecois bands. But still, the Quebecois sound is different, the culture is different. Is there a barrier between English-speaking and French-speaking people?
Métal Noir Québécois and black metal from the other region of Quebec is not the same thing. People who are the English speaker from Quebec, they can do good black metal, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same spirit. As Carl said, we are a close group of people. We are like maybe 15 or 20 guys who are just drinking with each other, missing with other people, and we create music, and we're like, sometimes we get drunk and we listen to music and we're like, oh, it's cool, let's create a band. Poof, you have another band. It's like, what's the way to say in English, consanguin?
I don't know. Good
Help
question.
us. You. What? Inbred, yes.
Inbred.
Yes, maybe sometime we can, it's a funny point of view. We're like inbred because is in Monarch and in Deletere, and other people usually they are in more of 2 bands, like 3 or 4 bands. It's the same people, and it's great like a sound, but we are not really awakened to this sound. We are not able to see it, to hear it when we read like a critic for our album. Sometimes we see like things that come back, like Métal Noir Québécois is epic, martial, melodic. Sometimes we are called like a bit, depressive, but still angry, but it's so natural for us, and we are not able to see it like because it's always in our environment. So
I think what you are talking about, because for example, I've been talking many times like there's this kind of a Swedish type of melodies, whether it's about Swedish black metal, death metal, melodic metal, whatever. There's this kind of a thing called Swedish melody. Same things apply to Finnish black metal and other Finnish bands, and there's also this called what I call French melodic sense. Now I understand that French-speaking people in Canada are obviously related to people in France, but given the huge amount of time between when Canada was founded and what is happening in like 90s or 2000 whatever in France, it still strikes me weird that when Canada, French parts of Canada, you still have the same kind of let's call it melodic folk sound. So I'm still trying to understand, is this kind of a blood heritage thing, or where does this come, this melodic sense that you have your own distinctive style come from? Is there like a folk bands or legendary folk music or whatever that is related to these kind of melodies?
I don't know. I don't know where this sounds come from. The main difference I think between a French band and us is that French band they will be able to sing in English, and they will be okay with this. In Quebec City, we want to sing in French because it's our language. Because in the Quebec City, a lot of people in Quebec want to be a free country. So for us to use French is like a cultural thing. It's a way to express that we are proud of our country. But maybe some
would-be country.
Well, yes, and we are really proud of our language, and so it's a difference. And about the sounds, I'm so clueless because we talk a lot about the way that each band sounds, and we are able to see some similarities, but we don't know where it's come from.
So it's in like hidden in your DNA, and you're not just.
I don't know. When I listen to Fortress, I'm able to see that Fortress song have always a high pitch lead guitar, and it's really epic and martial. When you listen to Monarch, now you will have the high pitch lead guitar, and it's always ambient, and you still have the epic way of things. With Délétère, we are like more. A lot of critics use the word feverish for our music because we like to move. We have a bit of punkish rhythm, and you can hear some high pitch lead
high notes.
Yeah, high notes. You can hear with a lead guitar sometimes. So I don't know. Whenever I read a review from black metal band, the words that come always back is it's epic, it's melodic, it's martial, it's cold, or I don't know. But truly, we don't know where it's come from. Maybe it's the beer that we drink. I don't know.
French beer, Canadian beer,
Quebecois beer,
Quebecois beer. So I was listening to your, latest EP. I don't know if it's even out yet, but I got the digital promo anyway. So I was listening to it on our way here, and I noticed like the very Canadian or Quebecois sound, which we're talking about, but I was also thinking of like in the middle of the first track, which is something like 8 minutes and then some. In the mid part, it's kind of ends and it starts again. And I know that on my channel I have been bitching quite a few times, like how, for example, some Icelandic bands are like missing the point of the first wave or even second wave of black metal. Like, why make these 12 minutes of tracks or even 8 minutes of tracks when you hear nuts like early Bathory, Hellhammer, Venom, you know, whatever, and you're like 3 to 4 minutes and it's just boom, like there. But these modern bands are taking it to the top, like, no, we are not finished with 5 minutes, not even 6 or 7. We need like 8 or 10. Like, why need you to have this length? It's like a story, like you need to have it, or why cannot you just like make it like, let's make this effective 4-minute track and let's go on with it?
I think it goes with the lyrics too and the theme of Délétère in general. It's a really deep concept. With all the knowledge of Patrice in old religious things, there's a lot of things to. There's a big concept with.
You know, because I'm doing a PhD in medieval history, and I use a lot of my knowledge in about the religion, the Christian religion, sorry, in the Christian religion in medieval history. So I go deep and deep and deep.
Like in a pornography.
What?
Pornography.
Exactly.
Yeah. So whenever a French, I have a lot of friends doing medieval PhD with me who just read the lyrics and they were like, whoa, man, you go deep, and this is like, I take a lot of things from the Bible. I don't remember how to say it in English. Exegesis, you know, exegesis. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a lot of knowledge about the exegesis of the Bible that I take and just transform.
Mash it up.
Yeah, mash it up to fit with our mythos. So it's really deep. And sometimes people will just read the lyrics and listen to the songs. They will, okay, it's cool. But if they do some research, they will just discover that, fuck, it's go deep. And what the fuck they are doing? It's metal or it is a history course? I don't know. And I have like, it's a sickness. I'm not able to create songs that go in like 3 or 5 minutes. It's always 5, 6, 7 minutes. I don't know. It's the way that I'm saying the songs, the riff or the concept. I don't know. But it's good.
Talking about lyrics, since you have French lyrics, have you Latin? Have you ever wondered that you could actually expand your audience if you just change it to English? Because French is a big language, but I mean it's not English big. Have you imagined like we could reach our message through if we just went it, English all the way down? Could it be possible in the future?
No, because I'm from Quebec and I speak French, and my country is supposed to speak French, so I can speak English.
Like you're doing right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to, and I can like people from Canada, but our band is in French. So I can listen to Orna and they are singing in Finnish and I don't understand the fucking thing, but I don't care because it's from Finland. So it's okay. If I listen to a Russian band who sing in Russian, it's okay. But I'm from Quebec, it's supposed to be a country and we're supposed to speak in French, so I sing in French. And the Latin part is a part of the concept. And after all, Latin is the root of French language, so it's okay. But no, I won't sing in English at all.
Now I will ask an annoying question, because this is something of a topic that has been going through in like past 2 decades a lot. So a lot of people say ideology should come always first, follow it with lyrics, because obviously if without words you don't have any ideology in the first place. But when we're talking about local language, doesn't mean if it's Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish, French, or whatever. Don't you feel like you're just preaching to the choir when you're using like French? I mean, like okay, we have this French black metal, and you're preaching to our friends in Quebec, but the rest of the world, fuck off. I mean, don't you feel like that you could be preaching your like whole work even to the wider audience, even if you had to sacrifice a little bit?
Well, you know, if you take an example of National Mortum, who they sing in Ukrainian, I'm able to feel something and to connect with the music, and I don't understand what they sing. You know, and I think in that.
Let me stop you for a bit. So if they were like singing like "We hate all the white guys in the new continent," you would be totally okay with it.
Okay, first of all, if I don't understand the lyrics, I'm kind of like a victim. But you know, no, it's a tricky question. Whenever, if as a band we are singing about a mythos, who talk about you know, sickness, you know, and tragedy. It's a fantastical world. It's not the true worlds. We're not singing about Quebec politics, so it's not the same way. So if you're asking me if I would be comfortable about some lyrics who go in a political direction, first of all, I need to make some research about the lyrics, which won't be a reflect, because when I listen to a band, the singing part will be like a guitar part or a keyboard part. It's a part of the music. I don't understand anything, but I know that the words, the way that people sings, is a part of the song. It's like a big. It's a. C'est quoi un total? C'est un ensemble, assemble. Like a big assemble. So I don't care if I'm not able to understand, because the way that the singer choose to play the words, it mix up with the music and it sounds good, and I respect the feeling that they put in their song, the emotion that they put in their songs, the effort that they put in their songs. So I will just appreciate that. So people can easily push me in the wall and say to me, you can listen to everything, and they will just say some messy things or political things. I don't want to, you know, music is supposed to be a way to express yourself, like your true self. And your true self is not supposed to be associated with politics. Politics is a social construction. Your true self is something like, it's your instinct. So fuck politics, just do what you want, be happy with that, and you need to construct yourself, to build yourself when you do music. So if people want to just, I don't know, if they want to make some trouble because we listen to music, go fuck themselves. Go fuck themselves.
Go fuck themselves. That's a good way.
Yeah.
But what?
Music is supposed to be beautiful, and it's supposed to be like an enlightenment for ourselves. We live in a fucking society, or is so stressful. It's a shitty society. So music is like a kind of way to become more free in our head. So fuck politics. Just listen to music and be happy, or drink. Or go fuck yourself, I don't know, but be happy. And
listen to music, go fuck yourself, or be happy.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, like, I used to be this guy who couldn't, for example, listen to so-called Christian extreme metal, because I wouldn't call it black metal in the first place. So no matter how good riffs they could make, I would be kind of annoyed when I knew that they were Christian band. Do you agree with me, or is it just like, oh, Jerry, fuck off, listen to good riffs and you can just forget about Jesus?
Well, on the
so could you listen to, for example, so-called white metal?
When you say white metal, it's Christian black metal and not extreme right. But okay, I don't think that I listen to white metal because personally I don't like Christianity, but because
That's why I was asking.
not because it's a trend. It's for my PhD. I'm studying a lot of Christianity stuff and knowledge, and Christianity in medieval times and Christianity today is not the same. Back in time, it was not a religion; it was a way of life. Today, it's a religion, so it's like a business, and I don't like the Vatican business. So I cannot appreciate or like music that use Christianity as their main goal, whatever. Maybe it's good, and maybe I would be surprised, but it's not naturally for me. It's not natural for me to choose to like Christian band.
So the big question is, if you two guys, you could choose to make Quebecois culture as your own, what kind of country would it be?
Oh, good question. It will be a country where we speak French first, because in Montreal it's like sometimes it's the biggest city in Quebec, and often you arrive in a store and
Speak English.
people speak English first to you, so it's kind of a little annoying and disrespectful, I think, in some way. Yeah, there will be more French culture, more. We will be more ourselves and more in control of what we choose to do, because we give money to Canada and they spend the money out the way they want it to do. So yeah, it will be a lot of change.
What would you add to this?
What?
What would you add to this list of things?
I don't know. You know, we are able to live with other people from Canada or stranger who want to come to Quebec and make their life there. But you know, as we learn to speak English because we know that in other country it's a way to be understand by other people and to create link. If when I go to a country, personally, I want to learn some language just because I know that people that I will meet in store will be happy if I use their own language. You know, whenever I go to a store and I say "Kitos," the Finnish people suddenly will have emotion. They're like, oh, they are happy because I use "Kitos." So if someone go in Quebec and they say "Merci," I will be, oh, nice.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. And nice, you use French. But it's like a pain in the ass when you're living in Quebec and you go in a Quebec City, not Quebec City, but like Montreal, and you met people who are not able to speak French. It's like, come on. You can speak English. I won't judge you. But please, try to learn French. Because I'm trying to learn English to be able to communicate with you, but make an effort. Try to mix with people. It's not like it's not a reflex for a lot of people. They don't want to mix, and it's sad because I know that French is a pain in the ass to learn. English is more easy, but come on, just try to be a part of this society and to make a contribution and learn French. So, as you said, I would like a country with more French people, not French people like people from Quebec, but people who are able to appreciate and speak in French.
All right. Before we conclude, what would be the track to start your Délétère career with? Like somebody's like, so what is this band again? I haven't heard the track. Which track they should start with?
A really good question. It evolved a little bit since the first demo until the new EP. And there's songs that are shorter, more punkish attitude a little bit. There are songs that are longer and more ambient. So it's hard to say. It's really hard.
Maybe the song's called Inopia Morbo. It is on the first EP, and it is on their last album called Die Oreille les Prailles. It's it's a good song. I find it good, and I don't know. It's like I think it's a good fusion of a lot of things that you can listen in Deletere. But it's a really tricky question. I don't know which song to use.
That is always the question with bands that are like, hey, we don't listen to our songs by ourselves, so like I don't know where to go to. Okay, the last one is before we go on, because it could be the rest of the day. What is Délétère to be in the next 10 years or 5?
Good question again.
I'm a man of good questions.
Yeah. In the next 10 years.
Or 5, it's up to you.
There are gonna be a few more new albums in the few years coming, and I think we're on a good streak. Bonne lancée.
I don't know. Maybe go in. Actually, we go in Europe, but just in Western Europe. So to go in Northern Europe and Eastern Europe, or go to the east, like I don't know, China or Japan. I don't know.
Or maybe be the first Métal Quebec band to play in Antarctica.
So with bear and snow and
yes.
So I can stay at home, be drunk, and just push some bear, teddy bear on the snow, and it will be the same. I can go to Antarctica, but fuck, it will be cold and there will be no people.
So
I know that vodka is really cheap in Antarctica, and watermelon is really not cheap in Antarctica. I don't know why. I have a friend who works in Antarctica, so vodka cheap. So we can do it.
Maybe.
Well, we can do a gig in Antarctica with vodka.
So let's see these guys on Antarctica as the first Métal Noir Québécois with no watermelons whatsoever, a lot of vodka, and who knows what kind of a penguin audience. Thank you for your time, guys. It was a pleasant to have you here, and I hope you all the best. Now, final words. What are your final words?
Fuck Canada.
Perkele.
Vitu perkele satanas.
That's a lot of cursing words. Now we need to go delete ourselves and remove all the content. Get yourself a beer or whatever. See ya, and this is all from Steelfest 2019. Thank you guys. This was a blast.